Have you ever found yourself spiraling in a loop of thoughts and just getting overwhelmed by negativity? It is easy to let our minds run wild, especially if you're recovering from an injury or if you're in chronic pain. But what if I told you that there is a way to break that cycle? When we recognize the patterns of problematic thinking that we're experiencing, it can become easier to actually manage those thoughts. It's not just me spinning off again or what I always do. These are actual patterns that many people experience, patterns that are completely normal and, best of all, can be recognized. Today, let's break down these thinking traps so you can identify them and learn how to regain control. My name is Larissa, and this is the Concussion Crew, a channel where we focus on making life a little bit easier by sharing tips and tricks and things that I've learned along the way recovering from a brain injury. But I will point out, I am not a medical professional. I am not a doctor or a psychologist. So these are just some of the things that I have learned along the way. But I definitely encourage you to reach out to your family doctor for more in-depth, personalized mental health supports that are right for you. But if you would like some advice from somebody who's going through brain injury recovery or just some support and encouragement, you're in the right place. Let's dive in. We're going to talk about 7 patterns of problematic thinking that can trip us up. Some of these might sound familiar, and that's because they're really common, especially for those who are managing chronic pain or a long-term health condition like a traumatic brain injury. But don't worry, because everyone experiences all of these things to some degree. Stick around till the end because I'm going to talk about how to actually cope and redirect your thoughts once you have gotten into the habit of recognizing them and nipping them in the bud. Number 1 is one that I'm really bad at: jumping to conclusions and predicting the future. This one is so easy to slip into when you predict a negative outcome without any evidence or support for it. For example, going to a job interview and thinking, I am not good at job interviews. I am not going to do well. I'm just going to screw this up. Even though you might be a perfect fit for the job, they looked at your resume, they've invited you in for an interview. You applied in the first place, so you thought you might be a good fit, but your brain starts feeding you these worst case scenarios. This can increase your anxiety and stop you from even trying. It holds you back from experiences and makes everything feel more daunting. If this is resonating, if you're like, oh yeah, I do that, start watching out for it. And if you think, oh my gosh, jumping to conclusions here, I gotta stop this, maybe ask yourself, what's the actual evidence for this? What else could happen? You'll often find that the worst case scenario is not what's actually going to happen, and it's not even that bad. I don't get the job. There are other jobs. But why would they invite you in for an interview if they didn't think you might be a good candidate? Number 2, exaggerating or minimizing a situation. Sometimes we blow things way out of proportion or minimize how big the situation really is. They sound like complete opposites, and they are, but they're closely related. Exaggerating can make the whole thing feel overwhelming, whereas minimizing can make us feel like, why even bother? I don't need to deal with that. With my brain injury, I did a lot of vacillating between my life is over. I've lost my job. I can't do my hobbies. I'm not seeing my friends. This is the worst thing ever. And then I would swing to, but I should be grateful. It could have been worse. I could be dead right now. There are so many things that are worse. This is not really that big a deal. Both of these things were untrue and worsen my mental health and my recovery. And again, you're going to zoom out and just try to look at the facts. Is my life over? No. Is this nothing? Also no. Pattern number 3 is ignoring important parts of a situation. This happens when we focus on one tiny detail and ignore the entire rest of the situation, which can distort our perception of what's going on. Like if you get one negative comment online and ignore the 100 positive comments. And when we're ignoring the positive and just focusing on the negative, it can make you feel stuck and unmotivated. So again, try to zoom out, look at the bigger picture, and focus on the things that are going right, not so much the things that are going wrong. I tend to be a very black and white thinker, so number 4 really resonates with me. Thinking of things as good, bad, right, wrong, black, white. We tend to put life into 2 boxes when really there are tons of gray areas all around us. Thinking, I had a bad day, so the entire week is ruined. I'm sure you can tell that I'm getting over a cold right now, and I ended up not posting a video the Friday before I'm recording this. And it was really frustrating, and I'm trying not to get bogged down by that. I've had 8 months worth of consistent videos. I have built them up. I'm also posting shorts, but that one video is really bugging me. It doesn't mean that everybody's going to unfollow me, unsubscribe, that everybody hates me. It's just everybody gets a cold. It's fine. Life is rarely as simple as we want it to be. Recognizing the complexity of everything, of emotions, of healing, of actions, can help us to see things more clearly. Number 5 is overgeneralizing from a single incident. This happens when one negative activity makes us think that everything else is going to go wrong. If you have a setback at the doctor's, at physio, whatever, or if you have a bad day and you think, I'm never getting better. I'm backsliding. This is terrible. This can make us feel hopeless. We can stop trying as hard. It can really make progress feel impossible. Focus on small victories. Everything is a journey. Healing is a journey. Nothing is linear. There's going to be ups, there's going to be downs, and it is hard to remember, but every day is a new day. Anna Green Gables, my friends. Pattern of problematic thinking number 6 is mind reading, and I am not a magician, so I need to stop doing this, but it is so difficult. When somebody says something and you just assume that they're angry, they don't like you, that they're pissed off with you, something is going wrong. If maybe somebody doesn't text you back and you think, what did I do to make them angry with me? You have no proof that they're angry. Maybe they're busy. Maybe they're in the bathroom. Maybe they are on the phone with their mom. Who knows? But we jump to these conclusions. We try to read the other person's mind and assume that you know what is going on. This can jack up your anxiety. It can make you feel self-conscious. It can make you feel disconnected from other people. It's not good, my friends. So this is another one to challenge by asking for evidence. What in the world makes me think that they are angry with me? And then number 7 is emotional reasoning. Emotional reasoning is when we believe that our feelings are the absolute truth. I feel scared, therefore I must be in danger. Maybe not. If your doctor has given you exercises to do at home and it feels scary to try, especially for me when I was working on my balance, walking was scary, but it wasn't dangerous. I had a wall next to me. So our brain tries to keep us as safe as possible, and it does it in some really messed up ways. Like, just stay in bed. Nothing can hurt you if you're in bed, so just stay there. Don't leave and stay cocooned. That's not reasonable or rational. Trying to recognize that I feel scared, but I don't have evidence that I'm in danger. 2 things can be true. It can be scary, and not dangerous. Is this feeling accurate, or am I just letting my emotions do the talking? These patterns can feel overwhelming, especially when you're in the midst of healing from an injury, a sickness, dealing with chronic pain, mental health issues. It's a lot. But the good news is that once you start recognizing these patterns, you do have the power to change them. It's not about stopping every negative thought, but about acknowledging the pattern and taking steps to regain control. If you notice yourself doing one of the 7 patterns, try a grounding exercise to recenter your mind and bring you back to the present. Not jumping to conclusions, not trying to read their mind, but actually focusing on fact and what is happening in this moment. It's a great way to break the cycle and bring yourself back to reality. If you'd like to learn more about grounding exercises, I have a video that covers 5 of my favorite, really easy grounding exercises that you can do at home, on the go, wherever you are when you need to calm your system. I also recommend reaching out to your family doctor for a referral. I love my psychologist. She is the one who introduced me to the patterns of problematic thinking. I work with her weekly, and she has been an amazing mental health support. If you are looking for additional supports, your family doctor should be able to refer you to the right kind of mental health professional. The same as they would a physiotherapist, a chiropractor, an occupational therapist. If this video helped you and you know someone who it might help, I hope that you will share this with them, that you will like, that you will subscribe, all the things that help us here on YouTube. Remember that you've got the tools to help manage your thoughts and make getting healthy a little bit easier. And also remember that you are not alone in this.